Okay, we're live.
Yep. Hello, everyone.
Good evening, everybody. Hey, Kenny, Steve White,
You made it,
Randy's
Steve.
World. Hi, Roy and Becky's Travel.
Well, people are still coming in.
How's everybody doing this evening?
Hey, Randy. Hey, don't you know? Can you all hear us all right?
Hi, Cindy.
Hey, Cindy.
How you doing?
Still got power.
Hey, Jeff and Tootsie. Oh, you're in a meeting. Okay.
In a meeting.
Well, thanks for stopping in.
Is Tootsie in the meeting?
She's taking notes.
Ah, that would make sense. Okay, perfect.
All right, that's good.
Yeah, we have some relatives down in Florida in the Tampa Bay area. So I looked on one of them, and they have power still. To the north of them, to the west of them, to the south of them, people have no power. Hey, Rich Cat Ranch, welcome. You can read more of those. Who popped in
Rich Cat.
after Rich Cat and Steve?
Hey, Hike with Mike.
Hey, hope you're staying safe down there. I don't know where you are, but I know you're somewhere down there.
Yeah, it's looks rough down there now.
Yeah. Fortunately, that storm did not go further north.
Steve White says my parents live in St. Pete.
Well, fortunately, Pinellas County got spared the direct hit because it's still going up inward and very, very slowly, but it's a lot better than what it originally was forecast to do. Oh, is that Sam Gloves?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Sam Gloves. So we're gonna wait about maybe, I don't know, 5 minutes, and then we'll get this game going. As we had in the thing, it is things they don't teach you in school. Another.
Steve says, yeah, Pinellas County is a peninsula and a direct hit would have been bad.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, Gary. Hey, Gary, I didn't get a chance to. Maybe you can let Eddie Devil Dog know that we're at live with trivia.
Gary says I can barely hear you.
Turn up your phone. Everybody else can seem to hear us all right. Check with ask Devil Dog to pop in too.
Hike with Mike says originally forecasted to land in my area of the state, but the storm changed its course. Luckily for me, not so much for others, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Hey, Vogs 18.
Oh, welcome.
Cindy says I can't hear either.
Is that any better? I know Steve White said it was fine. A little.
Little.
Does that make it any better? Or is it worse? Need more volume.
Hike with Mike says he hears fine. Cindy said yes, it was better.
Okay.
Need more cowbell. Steve says I just cranked up my volume.
Need more cowbell.
Wonder why it's low. Why is
I don't know. I did just.
does the volume needs to still be up? Gary says all my stuff is cranked up to 100%.
All right, give me a second here. I'll see if I can bump it up a bit. Is that any better?
Normally I have to cut it down, but I could carry on a speech at the moment. Cindy says both my phone and laptop are as high as they can go. Hike with Mike says volume fine here with all the hurricane interference. Still nice and loud.
Oh, and all that interference. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Bell Loop said yes.
Yes. Louder, yes. Cindy says yes.
Okay, I found the issue. I remember. I got that set. I'll save that for next time too.
Remember. Remember that.
I need the thing from Star Trek where Mr. Spock says to Jim, remember.
Remember. Don't you know says sounds much better.
Okay,
Gary says much better.
All right. Well, in that case, we're going to get going here.
And Gary says, oh, and Kathy Ireland. John Esper.
Hey, John
I can
Esper.
hear you now.
Good.
Don't you know lightning? Oh, lighting is kind of dark.
Yeah.
Oh. Mike with Mike says, you need Post-it notes. I have them all over my house. LOL. We have some of those. Not around the
Glorious
house.
Platter. Yeah, I still have to figure out some. I do have a light, but I'm not sure. It tends to make us brighter.
See, it's kind of dark.
Yeah.
Hi, Glorious Platter. Like with Mike says, I am always in fifth gear.
Is that any better? On the lighting?
Well, that's what it looks like.
It's best I can do for now.
Okay.
All right.
Don't you know says that's better. Steve says yep.
All right. On with things they don't teach you in school.
Good evening, John Esper. Wow, you cooled down. It's 54 degrees in Ohio.
Oh, wow. This morning we had 41 degrees here. It was nice. First question. On average, do people who win a large sum of money in the lottery lose or gain weight?
That's an interesting question.
That is an interesting question.
Steve says gain. John Esper says now it's nice and loud. Mike with Mike says lose. Cindy gain. Glorious Platter says 14 watching, but only 11 likes.
Yeah,
can we show host some love?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
And yes, it is gain. I guess with all that extra money you have.
All that whining and dining.
Yeah, all those
too many parties.
Filling foods.
Glorious Platter.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Dennis Jackson, welcome.
51 in Kentucky.
Next question. Can you pass out when you are sleeping? That's a good question.
Rich Cat Ranch says yes. Cindy says yes. Steve says sure.
Actually, the answer is no.
Hike with Mike says, I figured with all that cash, folks would have a personal trainer to lose weight.
Yeah, really.
You would think, right?
Yeah, exactly. Next question. How many languages are there in the world? Oh, that's a tough one.
Belt Loop says, I win again.
Actually, yeah, you eat.
1,000. Hike with Mike says, too many.
Too many.
Gary says, 268.
I like the too many one.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize.
More than one.
Gloria says, 2568.
Hey, Sandra.
More than one. 345. 300. Wait, the answer is always 42, right?
You would think. I know that one, but no, it's not 42 in
90.
this one.
5,000. Belt Loop says 7,100.
Yeah, he changed his answer, even though it's still not the right answer. It's approximately.
Gary says, I did Google that one.
Well, it's approximately 6,800. Google's wrong.
Well, he was closest, I guess.
Yeah, he was close. But if you go by who's closest without going over,
Steve probably got it then.
yeah, it would have been Steve.
I don't know. Who's counting, right? It's high.
On average, how much do teenagers grow during each year of puberty? Too much.
Gary says Google said it was 7,100. You're wrong, Fred. Google is an authority. Well, we didn't double check it, but I don't know. I guess we'll have to see if Google is the right one, I guess.
Of course, Google includes languages that are not languages. Anyway.
It's a lot.
Anyway, the growth, a teenager.
Yeah, okay. Say that again now.
On average, how much do teenagers grow during each year of puberty?
Hey, Ralph.
Hey, Ralph, welcome.
How you doing this evening?
Hey, Spaceman Dudley. So what we got answers?
So we got 2 inches, 8 inches, 3 inches, 6 inches, 1 inch, another 7, 2, and 2.
Well, the answer on this one is around 3 to 4 inches.
Okay, Gary says 2.5 to 4.5 inches per year.
It's 3 to 4, but
Close.
close.
Close enough, I guess.
That's your answer, Gary, or
6
or
inches,
Google?
Spaceman. According to Google.
Of course. What percentage of the dust in your home is actually dead skin cells?
I'd say it's a large percentage, right?
Yeah, but what percentage is that?
Cindy says 90, Steve 50, Sandra Robinson 80, Gary says 80, Gary says 90, then he says 100%. Gloria says 20. Hey, Roy and Becky's Travel.
Hey.
75, 95, 101, 101,
101?
96, 78, 81, 82, 83, 84.
You're going the wrong way. It was
Okay.
75%.
Gloria says, let me check the dust. Steve says 3.14.
That's pi. Oh, good grief. I'm not gonna.
So don't you know it got 75%?
I'm not going for that one.
Spaceman Dudley got it. He was close too.
That's too much of an answer.
Sandra Robinson says, I like pie. Yeah, the 3.14. Who out there eats pie on Pie Day? P.I. Day.
Yeah, really. Why did phone numbers in old movies begin with 555? That's an interesting question. Well, that's an interesting answer. Yeah, bell loop.
Yeah.
Every day is Pie Day.
Every day's Pie Day. Gary says, because it doesn't go anywhere.
Like Spaceman.
Spaceman says, because 444 was already used. Rich Cat says, because it wasn't an actual working exchange. Cindy says, because people would call them. Sandra says because there was no 555 exchange. Gary says it's non existent. Steve says not real.
Actually, the answer is phone numbers beginning with 555 were reserved for TV and film.
Well, I guess, I mean, some of
Yep.
those answers pretty much apply
Well,
because it,
it
it,
was
it
reserved.
didn't, yeah, it was
It was
reserved for
reserved.
that, but it wasn't
They couldn't.
existent in any
They
other
couldn't
form.
create it for any purpose
Right.
because those were reserved.
Steve says because 666 would freak people out. Yeah.
Oh yes.
Gary says, okay, so I was right.
No. Um,
Well, I mean, it's non-existent. I guess a lot of those answers were
close.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
It
is the
didn't go over.
largest amount of money ever won in a lottery?
Well, that could be conflicting because there's
That's
been some huge ones
yeah, but
since
not this
this
big.
game.
Not this big.
Really?
Really.
Okay. Let me see. Mm.
Not that
Hike
big.
with Mike says, oh, well, we got some answers here.
Yeah.
975 million, 900 million. Hike with Mike says if someone was smart, they would have a phone number and a film to go to a telemarketer. LOL.
Yeah, really.
Steve says 1 billion. Sandra says 1.3 billion. Cindy says 1 billion. Beltloop says 1.586 billion. According to Google.
So, Gary, can you do your next 5 answers without Google? That's my question. Hey, Loggy
Loggy
Doggy.
Doggy. Hi, everyone. Just dropped in to say hello and leave a thumbs up. Getting ready
Thank
for
you.
some rest. Long, hard day. Come on, Friday. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Diane Phoenix.
Beltloop says you should just admit Google is right.
Well, I just want to see if you know the answers
Diane
without
says
Google.
Google lies.
Yeah. It's 1.6 billion.
What was that one that they just recently claimed anonymously? The one big one that
Oh, that
was one what a month or two ago.
I think it was like 1.3 billion anonymously.
Beltloop says ask stuff about muscle cars.
And
Gary says 1.586 billion. Is that the one, Gary? Is that the one I'm talking about?
I don't know.
The one recent?
I don't know. I don't think the 1.6 billion was the recent. That's it wouldn't be in this. That's not the recent one. Oh, that's in here.
Oh.
What is the largest animal to have ever lived?
Sandra says they said it was the biggest. That's why I said 1.3. And Gary said that's just what Google said is all. Yeah. Blue whale, mammoth, elephant. Ask the question again. I couldn't hear it.
What is the largest animal to have ever lived? Hey, J&B Adventures. Welcome.
JNS.
Oh, J&S. Sorry. It's a bit of a distance here to look at the thing. Jeez.
Sperm whale, whale.
It actually is the blue whale. It was up. The biggest one was up to 98 feet long and 219 tons. Try to get that on a boat.
Glorious Potter says
What?
lottery has big wins, but the winner gets less than half. Yeah, after all those taxes.
Yep.
Spaceman Dudley says Oprah Winfrey. Sharkosaurus.
Oh my gosh. On average, at what age are men most dissatisfied with their looks? Okay, Gary. Google that one.
Gary says, I can't hear, but not your fault this time, Fred. People around me are talking. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
45, 45, 60, 40, 50, 45.
Yep. The answer is
13.
No, Gary. Maybe
Steve says I said that because I just turned 60.
Actually, it's 45. 13.
Is that when they supposedly go out and buy their Their vet or their super sports vet.
13?
No, I mean
Oh, the
45.
sixth? No.
Glorious Platter says, hubby says no comment.
If you were to weigh all the food that you eat in your lifetime, how much would it weigh?
Steve says, all you 45-year-olds, wait until you turn 60.
Not there yet. Close, but not there
Diane says too much.
yet.
Belt Loop says 3 pounds. Rich Cat says 6 tons. Roy and Becky's travel 6 tons. Steve says 10,000
Hey, Don Ray
pounds.
B.
Sandy says 2 tons. Don Ray B says 10 tons. Gary says maybe 4 pounds. Diane Phoenix, wait till you hit 65. Oh, they're talking about that.
Yeah.
Glorious Platter says 5,999 pounds. Spaceman says Roy and Becky doing better than I was, but still
That's
not got
good.
all my energy back.
Well, that's good. You're doing better.
Kathy Ireland's weight.
You better hope not, because the answer is 50 tons.
Ooh. Don't you know says, hey, what's wrong with being 60? Steve says it gets better, Diane. Oh, joy.
Do a gallon of water and a gallon of ice weigh the same?
Spaceman Dudley says, I go for a pulmonary test next week.
You'll do fine.
Praying for you.
I like Steve's answer.
What's that? Whoop, whoop.
He says,
whoops,
50
sorry, Gary. I don't know what I did. Oops. I think I just deleted. That was an accident.
He said, 50 tons, no wonder I'm fat.
My thumb just hit something.
Well,
sorry, Gary. I didn't mean to do that. My fault.
Hey, Missy Brock. So again, okay, we got yeses, we got nos. The answer is no. Water weighs more. I guess because it freezes up.
Man, I don't know how I did that, Gary.
Blame Devil Dog.
Sorry. Sorry, Gary. I didn't mean to do that at all.
Who's not here. Can you break a diamond with a hammer? Belt Loop can cook.
You do that again, I won't come back. Just saying. Gary, it was my fault. I did it. I'm sorry. It was my thumb.
Blame Kathy Ireland.
I did not do that intentionally.
Accident.
Glorious Platter says, I thought my eyes were playing tricks when I saw a comment appear and disappear. He says, okay, I blame Fred. Oh, my.
So the answer is yes. You can break a diamond with a hammer. How long is the hammer? Doesn't matter. Okay, that's that question I'm definitely not asking. Or that one. Some really doozy ones here. Was it Vincent van Gogh's right ear or left ear that got cut off?
Gary, no, you weren't banned. I hit the timed out.
Yeah, it was an accidental.
My thumb was sliding across the thing, and I don't know what I did.
It happens, Gary. You know that.
So sorry.
Yeah, a little bit of left, a little bit of right.
He keeps saying Fred's at fault. Well, we get to see one of your other channels, Gary.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson, chew it off.
Hey, Fanatic Connecting Guru.
So we have
I missed
left
your
and right
last
and
live.
which. So you. Steve says if I could type, that would be nice.
It's left. Next question. When did the world's first website go online?
I don't know what I did, Gary. He says I think you have to hit a few buttons for that to happen.
Actually, not on the phone.
Well, don't be hit. Don't be.
Ninit. There you go. So now your second channel can be the moderator.
Diane says I've accidentally timed people out when I sneezed. LOL.
Oh.
Don't you know says when Al Gore was done inventing the internet. Steve says it was the 90s for sure. Thanks, Fred, but it's not the right account.
Yeah, but your other account is still moderator, so it's. Yeah, you're still modding the other channel.
Oh, sure, you're gonna leave now.
Well, he's still on the other channel. He just swaps it. That's all.
Okay, so what was the?
So the answer was August 6th, 1991. That's when the first website went online.
Spaceman says I thought Al Gore was the inventor of headlight blinker fluid.
No, Al Gore was the inventor of noise pollution.
Gary says, okay, cool. All is forgiven. All right. I got a jacket. Oh, and Kathy Ireland.
What is the difference between whiskey, WHISKY, and whiskey, WHISKEY?
I didn't know there was a difference.
Yeah.
Steve says I'm married to Kathy Ireland. Belt Loop says the letters. Steve says where it's made. Hike with Mike says one has an E in it. Spaceman says about $10. Rich Cat says one's from Ireland and the other's not.
Close.
Diane says hi to Spaceman. Hey, Willow Way Ranch.
Hey, welcome.
Good evening. Glorious Plier says one is scotch, the other one, dunno. LOL.
So you're close on that too. The drink is spelled WHISKY in Scotland and WHISKEY in the US. I know that.
Okay. So Rich Cat says one's from Scotland and the other's not.
Yep.
One's from Kathy Ireland and the other's not.
Kathy Ireland doesn't have alcohol. Yeah, I'm not going to answer that question.
Another pass.
Another pass on that one. Yeah, there's some weird ones in here. At what age is a child most afraid of snakes? That's an interesting one.
Yeah, but sometimes children grow up and they're still afraid of snakes.
Yeah, true. Good example is Indiana Jones.
Yeah. Rich Cat says 10. Sandra says 5. Gloria says me at birth. Gary says 30. Don't you know says 6. Cindy 12, Gloria 5, Roy and Becky's travels birth like me, lol. Missy 12,
Yeah.
Steve says 7.
So don't you know is right. 6 years old.
Hey, Big John D.
Hey, welcome.
Gary says, I know a lot of folks afraid of snakes, and most of them are around 30.
Why do they turn off the lights in the cabin of an airplane during takeoff and landing?
Hey, Hendrickson Family Farm. How you doing?
Hey, Mitchell, welcome. So why do they turn off the lights in an airplane on takeoff and landing?
Hike with Mike says, I catch snakes a lot on the road to save them. Alien abductions. Gary says, to conserve electricity.
Yep.
Roy and Becky says, to see better.
You're on
Don't
the
you
right
know
track,
says,
that
to
one.
save power. Steve says, so that no one sees something they shouldn't. Cindy says, save power.
Roy and Becky was the closest there. It's so that people's eyes will become accustomed to the light conditions outdoors in the event of an emergency.
Oh. Gary says, plus if you wreck, you won't have to see all the blood.
Ugh.
Gloria says, so we don't ask for food and drinks. In other words, go to sleep and shush. Good answers.
Yeah.
I'm seeing all the blood.
And all caps at that. Hey, Krubby the Beagle, welcome. On average, how many times does a person go to the bathroom in a day? On average. A lot less than I thought it would be.
We got 5, we have 3, 6, 5, 12, 6. Gary keeps saying, we're the fellow that wants to try and fall asleep on your shoulder. 5 times 5. Gary, you're still in the previous question.
It's 6. How many times on average does people go to the bathroom?
It was 6. What did you say?
There's one that's Bubbles. Hey, Bubbles. Bubbles RC. What is the difference between a latte macchiato and a cafe macchiato? Didn't know that one. Hey, David Perkins. Welcome.
The spelling.
Not in this
Cream.
case. Nope, not green. Okay, here we go.
Latte is milk. Hot or cold. Latte is more milk. Cafe is more coffee.
Who said that? Gloria's Platter?
Yeah.
That's right. Latte macchiato contains.
Thanks for stopping in, Roy and Becky's Travels.
Yeah.
Hope you have a good night, too.
Catch you on Friday. A latte macchiato contains a lot of milk and a little coffee, and a cafe macchiato has a little milk and a lot of coffee. That's a whole lot of.
Gary says I said cream.
But it's not. It's milk, not cream. And it's the.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting. Now, got to take this with a grain of salt based on when this game was created. The current world population represents a doubling since what year? Cream is milk. Kind of yes, kind of no.
Gary says it rises to the top like my scores here. 1950. What was the 7.85 billion?
Certainly
Missy
not
says 1979. What Gloria's Platter says, what do I get for getting it right? LOL. Cindy says 1970. Don't you know 1960? Gary says, what was the question? Say the question again. Gloria says 1981. Hendrickson Family Farm says 1948. Missy,
Well, Cindy already
1920.
got the answer, but
What was the
the
question?
question was the current world population represents a doubling since what year? And Cindy Lou already got the answer. It was 1970. Next question. Well, this one, some certain people on the chat should know this one. How much longer do eggs stay fresh if you keep them in the fridge? We got some homesteaders in here that know this a lot better than a lot of people.
Wow, is that any eggs? I'm assuming they're talking about chicken eggs.
That's what I'm assuming too.
2 weeks. Oh, one says washed or unwashed. They don't indicate.
No.
Yeah, Gloria says 2 weeks. Gary says they don't. Don't you know says 1 month. Sandy says 2 weeks. Steve, 2 weeks. Gary says they don't last as long. Cindy says 1 month. Gary says if you leave them in the bloom, they stay fresher longer. Or you could water glass them.
So
I guess under just normal refrigeration.
Yeah, so the answer to that one was 5 weeks. Oh, that's an interesting one. I know that answer without even looking. All right, Mitchell, thanks for coming. I think he has to feed the animals. What?
That's interesting, Gary. He says if you water glass them, they will keep for a year.
Water glass. What breed of dog is Scooby Doo?
Rich Cat Ranch, this Great Dane.
Mutt.
Gary says look it up.
Look it up. I don't know if he means look it up for the.
The 5 weeks? They don't last for 5 weeks?
Well, that's what this says.
I don't know. I don't know if I've ever had eggs that long in there.
No, they don't last.
I usually don't
because
buy.
they're eaten before then.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a Great Dane was the answer. No. Some questions I am just saying no on because.
Which part, Gary, about the eggs? What are you saying about they don't last 5 weeks,
or is it
the water glass
or the
thing?
water glass?
Oh, Sandra says what was the
Okay.
egg answer? Where's that
5 weeks.
question?
It was 5 weeks.
Oh, I know, but what was the question? It was
The question was how long do eggs last in the refrigerator?
okay.
And the answer was 5 weeks.
5 weeks.
Yep.
Oh, they last longer if you water glass them. Well,
what does water glass mean?
I don't know. Elaborate us. What is water glassing?
Yeah, Gary, what is water glass?
The question on the card was under normal circumstances, if you put the eggs in the refrigerator, it doesn't indicate whether they were white or brown or whatever. They don't indicate. They just the typical egg. Yeah, I guess you would buy from the grocery store. I'm assuming. So.
Oh, okay. I'll have to look that one up. Devil Dog did a video on it.
Okay.
Next
Keep
question.
them unrefrigerated. Oh, it's like canning them. Okay.
Can yodeling trigger an avalanche?
Gary says in Europe they don't put them in the fridge. It's for a reason.
Actually, the answer is no. It says it takes pressure waves from explosions, for example, to trigger an avalanche. Good thing, because a lot of Europe, a lot of them do the yodeling, and like they triggered avalanches each time. There'd be a lot of problems. Seven brides for seven brothers.
Gary says, though my knowledge is only from reading.
Can gorillas, chimpanzees, and orangutans swim? Good night, spaceman. Thanks for coming. Hey,
Steve
Scott.
says
Welcome.
Ricola. They just got home from church.
Ah. The question was, can gorillas, chimpanzees, and orangutans swim?
Steve's, let's see. We have some yeses. Sandra, yes. Gary says no. Gloria, no. Cindy, yes. Gary says no.
Gary
Whoops.
says just
There
guessing.
goes my finger again.
Don't.
I don't want time on anybody.
Ralph says yes. Actually, the answer is your guess was right, Gary. It is no. They cannot swim.
Wow.
I didn't know that. What can we no, try that again. What can we read between the words absolute and vodka on the bottles? That's for those people that know what.
Rich Cat says best. Misty says nasty. 140. Gary says. Sandra 90. Gloria says tipsy. Gary says the proof probably.
No, actually, it's the country of Sweden.
Really?
Really?
Steve says drink at your own risk.
I
Yeah, that's what they should say, huh?
would have said flammable.
Gloria says made in China.
Probably is.
Gary says proof is twice the percentage of the alcohol.
Mm. How long is the world's longest non-stop commercial flight? Non-stop. Ooh, that would be terrible if it was that long.
Rich Cat 20 hours. Gloria 18. Cindy 16. Missy says 10. Sandra 16. Steve 20. Gary says 4,000 miles.
That's not hours.
I think they're looking for hours.
They're looking for hours, Gary. Not distance.
A really long way, says. Gloria says, I've been on one. Felt like 36. LOL.
Ugh.
Scott says 12.
So the answer on this is 18 and a half hours. I do not know of anybody who's done that. I know somebody that's been on flight for 14 hours. That's another answer. Another
Gary's going was 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
You forgot the halves. It's another question I am not going to
Steve's
answer.
Ask. Gary says, you didn't give me enough time. Missy says, I don't fly as God didn't provide me any wings yet.
Good one.
Gloria says, yeah, from LA to Kuwait.
Oof.
Oh. Gary says, I was working my way up there.
Is it possible for a person to lick their own elbow? Hey, I just read the questions and decide if it's worthy of.
Gloria says asking. Not. He wasn't given time to Google, or
yeah.
she wasn't given time to Google.
No one was given time to Google.
All right, we got a no, yes, yes, no, no, yes. Steve says if you have a really long tongue.
All right. All right, Gary, which one is it? Yes or no?
Gary says I just did so. Yes. You lick your elbows, Gary.
Ooh.
Gloria says trying LOL maybe for some with a long tongue. Haha.
The answer is yes, but it's very rare. And I guess Gary's one of them. Do a video on that, Gary.
Gary says you asked, I tried.
How far away is the horizon if you're on a beach? That's an interesting question. No, thank you.
Rich Cat says who's that guy from Kiss? I bet he can do it.
Oh my God. Ace Frehley.
Steve says to Gary, you don't know where those elbows have been.
He probably could too. At the other end.
Gary says, true. Rich Cat Ranch, 30 miles at the other end, 20 miles, 5 miles. Depends on the curvature of the earth.
No, it doesn't.
He says I would say probably about 15 miles.
Don't matter what beach.
No, she says, doesn't it matter what beach?
No? No, it really doesn't.
Maybe 10 miles?
How about trying 3 miles? What the answer is. 3,000 miles? Oh, 3.3.
3.14. There's that pi again.
Close enough.
Gary says they normally say 10 is the max area you can see. Gary says to Steve, it's not pi.
Okay, here's an interesting one. If you have a shoe size of 43 in Europe, what is your US shoe size? No, it's not a clown foot. I guess they have different measurement sizes for.
Yeah. Rich Cat says 10. Missy says, sorry, I had to make my hubby a plate.
That's all right.
Gary says, wait, what was the answer?
You're supposed to say, wait, what was the question?
Gloria says 11. Cindy 12. Gary 12. Sandra 14. Missy 12. Steve 10.
Hey, Gypsy and the Vanilla Gorilla.
David Perkins
welcome.
around 9.5. Gypsy 10.
I'm on 34 of your 241 on your playlist there.
Nancy Edwards 9. Ralph says 9.
It's
Gary,
actually 10.
last one.
So I guess I don't know.
So all you all that did 10, that was the answer.
That's another question I don't dare ask. A bizarre thing. That's a question I don't know.
Too many skips.
There's some weird ones. How many coffee beans are needed to produce 1 cup of espresso? Who just showed up? You're not looking. Somebody showed up.
I don't know. It's not showing everyone here. I don't know why.
Oh, Moonlight Adventures, Josh and Cassidy. Welcome.
Why is it not showing everybody?
Right there. Oops.
Oh, jeez.
Right there, the one that's
Don't be
highlighted.
touching
The
things.
highlighted one right there.
Oh,
Top.
okay.
You're-
Oh, all right. Okay.
Oh my gosh. Some of these answers. So we got 45, 2,000, 24, 150. Board Game Man, welcome.
All kinds of answers.
Yeah, so the answer in that one is about 40. 40 beans for espresso. Nah, I'm not going to even try to pronounce that one. It's another one that I can't. That's some real doozy
Oh,
questions.
Gary says, how far was the sunset? Oh, you didn't.
3 miles.
Okay.
Prior to 1945, there was an extra word on the famous Hollywood sign. What was the word?
Huh.
I didn't know that.
Leave, retreat, skanks, land,
Yeah, there we
city, suckers,
go.
visit.
Oh, that's funny.
Gypsy says you're behind, Belt Loop. Hit the 2x button.
Yeah.
Scott says sucks. On the sign it said suckers. Botox in 1945.
Land. It said Hollywood land, not Botox. Hollywood Botox.
Leave.
Uh,
Snowflakes.
how many cities in the world have a population of more than 1 million people?
Board Game Man said being from California, definitely know it was Hollywood land.
Yeah, I figured that because he moved from California to the Smokies.
Mm-hmm. 100, 57, 46, 10, 1 million cities, 492, 72.
482 was the closest because it was 330.
Gypsy says I said 8.
Yeah, 330. Oh, it's 42. That's Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Why are there almost always blank pages at the end of books? Didn't know that.
Wow.
Don't know why, but didn't know that.
Rich Cat says to absorb moisture. For notes. To
That's
take
what I
notes.
would have
To
thought.
make notes. Yeah, I would have thought that too for book clubs and stuff. Cheaper paper, not dyed. To wipe your hands on them.
He's laughing at it.
To put your name in it. Notes make sense.
Actually,
Autograph.
it's actually this is one that I never heard
The
of.
papers are folded over and not enough pages written.
The total page count of books must be divisible by 4. I have no idea why.
Done in chapters.
Why do they need to be divisible by 4?
In case you need to fold a small piece to get something out of your teeth. To
like,
use as toilet paper. To be presumptuous.
oh,
For making airplanes, Scott.
that's a good answer. I like that one. What happens if you put half a watermelon on full power in the microwave for a minute? That's not the answer I was expecting it to be.
Rich Cat says it gets hot.
Boom.
BOMB. Explodes. Nothing. Bursts. Kaboom.
Well, the ones that said that,
I would have said it makes a big mess.
I would have said that too.
The water boils. Now I wish I had a watermelon to make watermelon juice.
No, actually,
How many watts? Oh, we got to get technical now?
it gets warm. That's the answer. It gets warm. I remember.
I don't know, Gary. Maybe 1,000 watts. Missy says actually delicious on the grill, y'all.
Yeah, I think somebody else did.
I've never tried that.
Somebody that did that we know actually has a video on that Drunken Chef Barbecue. Can downhill skiers cross the finish line if both their skis have fallen off?
1,200. Gary says 1,200 watts is a better microwave. Yep.
Can downhill skiers cross the finish line if both of their skis have fallen off?
Sandra says nope. Gary says yes. Missy, yes. Gloria says yes. Upside down, yes, she says. Cindy says yes. Gary says even naked.
No. No.
Why would they lose their clothes?
No, the answer is no. They must have at least one ski on. I don't want to even ask Gary on that one.
On their button or bellies.
What percentage of vegetarians eventually go back to eating meat?
Really?
That's what it says.
50%, 10, 45, all of them, 98, 85, 70. The smart ones, 15.
It's approximately 80%. Yeah, that's a scary one. What proportion of all car accidents occur at intersections?
Hmm. But that doesn't make any sense, that question. Because, oh, what
Yes.
proportion?
Yes.
For some reason, I thought you said percent.
That's what proportion.
Oh, you didn't say proportion.
What?
I think you.
Well, if you do that, even if you say percentage, it would be same kind of thing.
Well, I know, but that was
it's
not
what proportion, but it's if you do percentage.
It's technically Fred's fault.
Just saying, Gary.
The question: what proportion of all car accidents occur at intersections?
1 of 2, Gary says.
So we got, let's see, 85. Oh, wait, that was the other one.
No, people let's keep going up.
50, 75, 70. Oh, 1 of 2, 4 out of 5.
Oops.
2 out of 3. Gary says I can do it a few ways, but that seems the simplest.
It's actually 1/3.
Probably red light runners.
Yeah, been through one of those in the past.
Wasn't your fault.
No, it was a red light runner. This is a strange one. It is not uncommon for people to talk in their sleep. Do deaf and mute people ever sign in their sleep?
Oh, goodness.
That's an interesting question.
Gary says I won't blame Fred for that one.
Good.
Scott says vegetarians looking for something to eat. That's why they have the accident.
Oh my. Yeah, they're looking down on the floorboard.
We got yes, no, yes, 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 no.
So the answer is yes. Didn't know that one. Hmm. What would happen if a helicopter engine were to suddenly stop?
Wow, Gary, that's interesting. He said he started dreaming in Spanish when he was in Mexico studying Spanish.
Oh, somebody's doing subliminal messaging to you.
Crash, it would fall down and go boom. Engine stops. Helicopter would fall out of the sky. It would fall and the helicopter would spin. Float, then spin. Slow drop forward to crash.
Actually, this is a surprising answer. The helicopter rotor would continue spinning and the helicopter would be able to land. I would have thought it would have crashed too. What day of the year has the highest number of breakups?
Hmm. Scott says there would be a strong odor if I was in it. LOL. Gary says fall down, go boom. Rich Cat says February 14th. Missy says I'd rather not find out. Gypsy says new to me. February 14th, February 13th, Valentine's
That's what
Day.
I would have thought. But it's the second Thursday in January. Don't know why.
Second Thursday in January.
Yeah, I have no idea why.
That's strange.
Oh, this is an easy one.
Oh, Gypsy said repeat the question, please.
Question was, what day of the year has the highest number of breakups?
Scott says New Year's resolutions, LOL.
That could be. Because of that. Second Thursday of January was
But
that
who
answer.
tells people, oh yeah, I just broke up? But guess what? It's the popular day. Where do people register their breakups so they can be counted? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, that's a good question. What country consumes nearly 10% of all the fish caught in the world? That's an easy one. That is a real easy one.
Glorious Platter says do it on New Year's Eve so you start afresh for the new year.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Japan, USA. Scott says Gary, people want to shed some weight. Korea, Japan, China, Singapore.
Yeah, all good answers. But it is actually Japan. That's a weird question. Is it possible to drink a glass of water while standing on your head?
I've never tried.
I don't think I want to even try staying on my head. I would get a headache.
Rich Cat says yes. Gypsy, yes. Gloria says yes. Sandra says nope.
Hey, Chicken Meat Mountain, welcome.
Missy says I need more social studies. Cindy says yes.
Yeah, the answer on that is yes. I don't want to know.
Hey, Chicken Beak
The
Mountain.
question is, if you can drink, what happens if you spill? Would you spill it on your nose or would you spill it on your shirt?
Gary says, what was the question?
Question is, if you can stand on your head, can you drink water? Oh boy. Why do pigs roll around in the mud?
I think I know that. Yeah, some of that I know. Rich Cat says to keep flies away. Cindy says to get clean. Sandra says cool off. Gary says the muscles in your throat is what push the stuff down. Oh, that's from the previous.
Yeah, he's
Gypsy
the
says
only.
to cool off. Gary says to cool off. Missy says sunscreen cool off.
There we go.
Gloria says they want a tan. Gypsy says they nasty. Yeah.
So
Gary says I know I didn't get timed out again.
it's all right. Pigs cannot sweat, so instead they roll around in the mud, which provides protection against the sun and keeps their body temperature at a normal level. So it's a lot of those answers were right. If you are lost at sea, can you eat jellyfish to survive?
Yep, Gary, that's right. No sweat glands. They can't afford bug spray. Gloria says no.
I wouldn't. Yeah. I
Nope.
mean,
Yes.
so the answer is no because they have the same salt concentration as the surrounding water.
Mm.
You'd be very thirsty. So we're going to do 10 more questions and then we're have to stop for the night. What percentage of all scientists who have ever lived are alive today?
One. 1%. Bill says after 8, I asked for 5 more minutes. Hey, meat man.
Hey, welcome, Meat Man.
Sandra says 12. Gary says 1. Cindy 2. Missy 10. Gary says 65.
Oh, he's getting closer. He must be Googling.
Gloria says hi to 38%.
So the answer is approximately 90% are still alive. No. What is the most widely recognized word worldwide? That's a mouthful.
Hmm. Sandra says I don't Google. I know it or I guess.
Not seeing the answer. Oh no. Oh,
Bingo.
if
Bathroom.
you got to go take a break, Gary,
Crapper.
go ahead.
Stop. Yes. Hello. No.
How about okay? It's okay.
Okay. Did Stone Age parents speak baby talk to their children? I don't know. Ask the Flintstones. Oh, that's a funny one.
Bella says no. Gypsy says yes. Rich Cat Ranch says yes, but who would know that? Exactly. Gloria says yes. Missy, no. Cindy, no. Sandy, there is absolutely no way to know that unless you were there. No way. They just slapped them until they did what they were supposed to. That's what Gary says. Missy says they were just grunting and such. And pointing, right?
So the answer to this, I was wondering what kind of answer. Yes, most likely.
Well, how do they know that?
Well,
Not even Google would know that, right?
yeah, Google doesn't even know that answer.
Belted the kids.
What is special about the door at 10 Downing Street, which is in England? Hmm.
Better say the question again.
What is special about the door at 10 Downing Street, which is in England?
Sandra says Sherlock Holmes lives there. It's super small. It's always open. Top elected official lives there. It's made of crystal lead. Chancellor, made of gold.
None of the above.
Resident of the king.
The answer is it can only be opened from the inside,
Hmm.
which means they got a way to get in from a different part of the building or
Missy
outside.
Brock says Kathy Ireland. I'm rolling.
Oh boy,
Oh.
we got another belt loop. What color are the cars that statistically are involved in the greatest number of accidents?
Gary says, what if you have a wand, Fred? What about a wand? Anyway, red, red,
Sorry, I leave the
red,
Tinkerbell stuff to you,
red.
Gary.
Everybody says red.
That's because it's red.
Gary says blue
Of
and
course.
green and orange.
It's actually red, so
Gloria
combined.
says because people hit my red car 3 times.
Ugh.
Oh man. Wait, white, white.
No,
Missy says
red.
white. Silver. Gary's just doing the whole thing. All the colors.
At what age does a lamb become a sheep? That's an interesting one.
Hmm. Gypsy says 1. Gary says 2. Rich Cat says 6 months. 18 months. 1 year. 2. 18 months.
So those that said 12 months or a year are correct. It's 12 months. Interesting. Didn't know that. Never heard that
Well, now
before.
you know something.
What country consumes the most coffee per capita? Hmm. I would have said differently.
USA, USA, Italy, USA,
That's what I would have thought. I would have thought Italy.
Spain, USA. Gary says I like Italy too.
Well, actually, it's Finland. They must be awake all the time.
Well, maybe they have better coffee. I don't know.
I don't know. How many of the world's over 7 billion people have never seen snow?
Hmm.
That's a large amount.
6, 50%, 3 billion, 60%, 50, 200,000, 5 billion, I'm guessing.
That's pretty darn close, probably.
40%, maybe 6 billion, 6 billion.
It's actually more. It says more than 4 billion. So, what percentage of men drop to one knee when proposing?
Glory says 6 is more than 4. Yep.
After me, man, still on the last answer.
50%, 45, 50%, 30, 0, 75, 60. Those that give up their dignity. 70, 99%.
Approximately 20%.
Gary says never leave yourself open to being left there on the ground.
Oh. And our last question for tonight, and I do have to stop because I do have to work in the morning. How tall is the Oscar statuette?
American Meatman says I just got engaged actually.
Oh,
Congratulations.
yeah, congratulations.
Glorious Platter says my hubby did not. He said so. What do you think? Should we marry? Gary says I did, and I threw the rings on the table and said, "Think about it."
Oh my God.
Wow.
Boy.
So romantic, I tell you. All right, we got 15 inches, 12 inches, 800 feet, 1 foot,
800
100
feet.
feet.
That's 80 story. That's an 80-story building. It was 800 feet.
Gary says she said yes over 34 years ago. Must have done something right. Gary says, oh, in 5 more minutes. Glorious Platter says, I said, yeah, we should, and I've waited 7 years for you to say that. Ha ha.
So the answer on that is 13 inches. So, no, Gary, we can't do 5 more minutes. I know you always do that, but can't do it. Plus I want to check on, see how family is doing down in Florida because they're having to deal with the storm. I guess Cindy Lou must still be on, so she must still have power. That's
Yeah,
a good thing.
for all you, everyone that's in Florida, our prayers for you guys. Stay safe.
Yep.
Because
Welcome.
we know what, yeah, we know what going through hurricanes are like. We used to live down there.
Yeah, I talked with one of her relatives earlier today, which surprised to hear from him because he's one that's hard to get a hold of. But
Yeah, that's a monster storm, and it's done a lot of damage so
and it's
far.
crawling.
And yeah, it's just hardly moving.
Yeah. So. All right. Well.
Oh, Cindy says she still has power. That's
Yay,
great. That's great.
Good. Maybe you won't lose any.
Gary says, hey, if they need a place, tell them come on over.
Yeah, nobody wants to leave that from down there right now, especially some of the things, because they said the unusual thing with this hurricane is they said The backside of the eye wall has the stronger winds, which is very unusual because all other hurricanes, the right side of the eye wall is usually the one that has the most winds.
Yeah, everybody stay safe out there, and we're gonna be watching that storm too.
Yeah,
And
checking on our family and seeing how things are going. So, all right, well, we do have to get going here. Just want to mention also we have a premiere. We had a premiere today of a three-part car show. We've got a second part of that premiere coming up on Friday at 3:10 p.m. Eastern, and then the part three comes up the following Monday. And yes, Gary, there's a GTO somewhere in the video, so you'll want to check it out. So, well, we thank you all for coming tonight. We appreciate it. If you haven't already, hit the like on that. Leave some comments if you want, if you can. It would be appreciated. And we will catch you next week, and we'll see what trivia we'll do next week. So, good night, everyone.
good night.